White lion. Hay lioness, hay labuh. هذه حديقة سفاري دبي. خندق مائي حاطينه طبيعي. اوه هي بتربص، هذا لبقى بتربص. في طلاب جايين تخرجوا من الناحية الثانية، وهي مهتمة تتربص وتشوف تراقب. وهاي وهاي اللبوة عم تتفرج على الطلاب عاملين الأزاز. وهي اجوا كمان، هي اجت كمان اللبوة الثاني، اللبوة الثاني. وهاي الأسد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
For the opening of the Dubaisafaripark, I'm sure many of you are feeling nostalgic.
I joined in '89. I have seen them. There were about 7 or 8 birds in this case, but they were not breeding. So I tried to bring in muddy soil from Hatta every time I will go. We did lots of things, but fortunately it only started breeding 2006. So that is a great success for this little.
That the animals are now being, they're going to get a bigger and a better home. But since you've been here for 30 years, and as you just kind of stroll around, you see
smaller animals that is confiscated and given by people. Dubai Zoo is the first zoo in the world breeding Socotra cormorant from 1991. We are still breeding, and every year between 20 and 50 Dubai Zoo bred Socotra cormorant are being released back to the nature.
I'm sure that you have a lot of interesting stories to share with us.
A Reuters newspaper reporter, they came in 2004. So I went inside, and that gentleman, the photographer from local newspaper, she came out. Fortunately, you see, this is a barrier, sealed from the top. So they cannot go out. So she came in, I jumped out, I went with her to the end, and I came, and then I took her inside. But the Reuters made the story, Dubai Zoo gorilla escaped. But in 1991, it is one of the best aviaries in the world, really. It is about 15 meters high and about 20 meters in length. So birds could fly freely, they breed. This is the giraffe case, and you see that fence. That was the line for the giraffe head. So giraffe could put its head outside. Then we raised the wall, and after that we put that fence, so that nobody could ever feed the giraffe from there. This is very interesting. This one is called Scimitar horned Oryx. So we have only 2 now, but we had 6 before, which has given so much of love and affection and educational values to the people of Dubai, people of United Arab Emirates. So I will request everybody to come and have a look tomorrow, because it will be open from 10 in the morning up to 5:30. They could walk into free to see the last few animals that we have in this.
After years of planning and construction, one of the UAE's most anticipated mega projects, the Dubaisafaripark, opened its doors to media and invited guests in a soft launch on Tuesday morning. Upon arriving at the site, I was a bit unsure what to expect. I had been to Kenya and experienced what I considered real safaris, so how could Dubaisafaripark possibly compare to an experience like that? What can visitors to the park are treated to is a beautifully designed main building, sweeping glass walls that connect at the roof, making for an eye-catching first impression. From there, visitors board a train or a bus, or an interesting combination of the two, and head out into the safari park.
A very good morning and a warm welcome to Dubai Safari. My name is Monica and I'm going to be your train guide for this journey.
Sprawling across 119 hectares and completely covering what residents of the area will know was a landfill, the park is split into different sections. The first stop landed me at the Safari Village. Statues of exotic animals adorn the entrance plaza to this area, which instantly made me eager for the real thing. Unfortunately, there are no elephants yet residing at the Dubaisafaripark, but there is an enclosure where you'll spot some giraffes going about their business and having the odd staring contest with people viewing the area. Off to the right side of the Safari Village, grey transport vans load up with passengers and drive into the different themed areas for a guided tour of the section. Loads of different bird species occupy the area, as well as a large troop of baboons who seem to love running in circles together around the enclosure. There are interesting deer and oryx species gathered around their enclosures, and if you're lucky, the ostrich crew will run in front of your van in a hurry to go about their business. Then it's through the gates and into the lion's den. Here, guests will get to see the king of the jungle in all of its glory. Lounging in the comfort that only predators at the top of the food chain can match, these animals are a true wonder to see up close. The guided drive was beginning to feel a bit long for me at this point, but I was really eager to see the one animal I've always wanted to see in real life. So after a few more enclosures with some beautiful exotic birds and a bunch more oryx, we finally arrived at the tiger enclosure. As magnificent as I had expected, they were there to greet us as we passed through the gate. It's easy to see why India has adopted the tiger as their national animal. After the guided drive, which took over an hour for our van to complete, the next area to visit is the African village. Here, the Dubai Safari has brought the flavors and feel of Africa to Dubai. They also brought African wild dogs, giant tortoises, and probably the single most majestic animal I've ever seen, the super rare African white lion. We were treated to a pride of 4 of these animals who, as it turned out, were feeling frisky and thought it would be great fun to play with the children on the other side of the glass. I'm not sure if the lion was playing or hungry, but either way, it's a relief knowing the glass is bulletproof and we, the guests, are perfectly safe behind it. As my tour of the park came to an end, I began thinking about my original thought from the beginning of the day. The Dubaisafaripark is certainly not an African safari, but it is amazing to see the care and thought put into each animal's area. I was caught up in the sheer scale of it all, the wonderful animals that inhabit the park, and that from January onwards, after the grand opening to the public, those who live in the UAE will forever enjoy a better quality of life. Because we can learn and witness firsthand the wonder and majesty of some of nature's finest creatures. At the end of the day, it's not about comparing the Dubai Safari with other safaris from around the world. It's about recognizing how big of an achievement it is that the UAE's residents now have an amazing safari experience of their own to enjoy. Logan Fish for Gulf News.